माता जी उस पे
Har
आप वो करिएगा, अपलोड है, क्या करना है?
okay. So Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. Currently we are reading The Light of Bhagvata, very very nice book. So
ये
let's start our session by offering the prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरं मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान् च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितान् च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्ते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात् देशतारिणे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। So please raise your hand so you will get the opportunity to read. And first priority will be given to those devotees who haven't read yet. Okay. So we have seen uh, we also seen how lusty woman is the lightning goes from the one cloud to the another cloud. It is compared to the lusty women, and it is also stated na one partner should fix their mind in that in his partner only, not other than his wife or his husband, okay, or her husband, okay. Then we also see the rainbow, it shows that rainbow shows that the supreme personality of a godhead and representative of a supreme personality of a godhead, our spiritual masters, they don't come under the three modes of a nature. They are beyond this three gunas, okay, and they always remain unaffected. And we can see Krishna can be smallest of the small, and a Krishna can be biggest of a big, okay. So uh, yes, and then we also seen that actually clouds are not moving, but it gives the illusion that moon and clouds are moving, okay? And it is then this analogy is compared to we are not this body, we are not this mind, but then also we identify ourselves with this material body and with this mind and with this intelligence. Actually, we are the spirit soul and we are the servant of the Krishna. Jivere Swarup hoy Krishna Nitya Das. Okay, so we don't have to identify with this, and when we don't identify with this material body, it means at the same time we are rejecting the temporary happiness and temporary sense gratification, and we are actively and with a with a utmost sincerity we are practicing Krishna consciousness, okay. Now we can start 17 verse. Yes, Sharmila Mataji, you can start.
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
All glories to
Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the clouds appear in the sky, the peacock begins to dance in ecstasy as a sincere soul becomes overwhelmed with joy on the appearance of a saint at his house. The duty of sages and saints is to go from door to door and thus enlighten the householders in spiritual knowledge. Householder life is compared to a dark well. In a dark well, the frog cannot see the free light of the open sky. The dark well of householder life kills the soul. One should therefore get out of it so that he may see the light of spiritual vision. Saints and sages mercifully try to uplift fallen souls from the dark well of householder life. An enlightened householder, therefore, takes pleasure in the appearance of such saints and sages at his house. The mind of the householder, who is a conditioned soul, is always disturbed by the threefold miseries of material life. Everyone wants to be happy in his householder life, but the laws of nature do not allow one to become happy in material existence, which is like a spontaneous forest fire. In the age of Kali, as described before, people in general no longer take pleasure in the presence of saints and sages, nor are they interested in spiritual enlightenment. The saints and sages, however, take all risks to propagate the message of Godhead. Lord Jesus Christ, Thakura Haridasa, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and many such sages risked their life to propagate the message of Godhead. Self realized saints and sages take such risks for the spiritual enlightenment of the people in general. They do not take vows of silence meant to win cheap glory from the ignorant mass of people. God is satisfied only when his devotees take all sorts of risks to propagate his glories. Such devotees are unafraid of the difficult journey to cross the ocean of nescience. They are always anxious for the welfare of the fallen souls who are attached to the false enjoyment of materialistic life, in which they forget their eternal relation with God. It is a duty of the saints and sages to enlighten the fallen souls, and reciprocally, it is the duty of the householder to receive the saints and sages cordially, as the peacock dances in ecstasy at the presence of clouds in the sky. The fire of threefold miseries experienced by materialistic men can be extinguished only by the cloud of mercy of the saints and sages who can pour down the water of transcendental messages to put an end to the miseries of the householders. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Muted, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, now you're audible. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. So in the 17th verse, so whenever we get the 1 or 2 minute time and like when like no one is there or like some network issue, like as Lamnishta Das Prabhu, like we can chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay. So in this 17th verse, we can see when the clouds appear in the sky, then peacock dance in ecstasy. Okay, as like and it is compared to what a sincere soul becomes overwhelmed with joy on the appearance of the saint at his house. So we have to do the Vaishnav seva. And like how we can do, like we can invite the Vaishnavas in our home, like we can serve them, we can feed them prasadam, we can give them some gift. We have also seen that like six kind of exchanges we do between the Vaishnavas, na, in devotee friends also. So here, the duty of a sages is like to go door to door and enlighten the household. So it is like, okay, we are not a great sages or we are not a great saints, but we are a sadhakas. So like we have to follow the instruction of our acharyas. What here it is written that we have to go door to door. Okay, we cannot go door to door, but like online also there is opportunity as a facilitator. Okay, Vinod Prabhu has idea, like many devotees has joined now. So, like, yes, we cannot go door to door, but we can take the 10, 15 numbers and we can start doing the seva. So, yes, like we have to go door to door and we have to enlighten the householders. So, why we have to enlighten the grahastha? Because, like, the householder life is compared to the dark well, okay, and this dark well, or inside this dark well, if there is a frog, he cannot see the free light in the open sky, okay. So like a dark well, so this dark well of a household life kills the souls, because in householder life it is very hard to control the sense gratification. Okay, the one more and more sense gratificatory objects comes, and we forgot our our goal to go back to the Godhead, practice spirituality, and we simply chase behind like a stupid sense gratification, which is a perishable. Okay, and when we are too much engaged in sense gratification, then we are killing ourselves. How we are killing atmaha? We have seen now, those who are not taking the advantage of this human birth, and not practicing Krishna consciousness, and again going in the cycle of a birth and death in 84 lakh species, then he's a atmaha, he's a killer of a soul. Okay, because we are losing that opportunity to go back to the Godhead. So, one should therefore get out of that. He may see the light of the spiritual vision, and this then what these great sages and saints do. They come they go to householders, and they enlighten them with what, not how to grow in how to grow your business or how to stay happy in your family life. No, they enlighten about the spiritual knowledge. Okay, though this spiritual knowledge can free you from this modes of material nature, and free you from this all the sufferings. So one, there are two kinds of householders. Some people's now, they don't they mistreat the devotees. They think that devotees don't have anything. Okay, they simply come here to waste their time, or they have come here to beg, or they have come here to sell some books. Okay, and but there is so these people are ignorant, and this is if this happens with you, even you are calling on online sevas, if you are calling some devotees or participants who are participating in class, and they behave badly or they speak something bad, so we don't have to take it on ourselves. Okay, because this is the this is the symptom of a Kali Yuga. That's why they are acting like in that way. Okay, so they need little mercy. So at that time we can pray for them. Oh Krishna, please give them some intelligence so that they can come in a Krishna consciousness. Okay, this we can do. So but there is another type of a persons who are enlightened in knowledge. They know who are the Vaishnavas, and how auspicious is to do the Vaishnav seva. Okay, and when the when the the sages and saints comes on their home, they become very happy in serving them. Okay, because this is very real opportunity. So the mind of a householder who is the conditioned soul is always disturbed by the threefold miseries of the material life. So yes, we have seen the threefold miseries: Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, and Adi Atmik. Okay, so their mind is always disturbed by this. Okay, some persons are hurting them, or some insects or some other animals are hurting them, or there are some natural calamities, and even their own mind is disturbing them. It is Adi Atmik. Okay, so so even we sing in a Guru Ashtakam na Sansar Davanal Loka. So this Sansar Davanal. So this material world is like a forest fire, and all are suffering here. And only by the mercy of a Guru we can get out of it. Okay. So yes, we cannot be live very happy in the householder life, because this is not a we are in a wrong place. We are searching for the right thing, but in a wrong place. Okay, so in the yes here it is saying na, in the age of a Kali, the people in general no longer take pleasure in the presence of a saints and sages, nor they are interested in the spiritual enlightenment. And but the devotees, the saints and the sages. Okay, don't say that okay, we are not a sages, but we are a sadhakas, we are the devotees, and the Prabhupada is telling us, the Shastras are telling us that we have to go door to door. And here what says that we have devotees have to take all the risk to propagate the message of a Godhead. But when we approach the devotees for practicing Krishna, approach the devotees for the sevas, they say we don't have time. You have to take out the time. Okay, there should be shortage of sevas. Everyone should come and ask for the seva. Is there any seva? Is there any seva? And they need to be very sincere. Okay, first 2 days they are very enthusiastic, and after that they slack. They don't even care. Okay, we have to take whatever whatever we have started, we have to finish that. Okay, okay everyone should do the seva in this way. Okay, Mataji, I have this seva, and like I am going to do this seva in this way. And after doing this seva, you should submit the report now. Like I have called these devotees, and like I got this replies from them. This devotee doesn't respond. Like, but like very few devotees do this kind of stuff. And because like when they don't respond in a group, then we don't know like they are doing seva or not. Okay, so it is very important also that like you have to be little active in group, those who are doing the sevas. Okay, so like we have to take all the risk to propagate the message of a Lord. And here, like when it comes to online seva, you simply hardly have to take out the 5 to 10 minutes a daily, or like for the 18 days. But like no one is taking that risk. Like you don't have to take the risk like a judges risk. Like you don't have to go, you don't have to die, but like, at least try to take out the time. Okay, for the sevas, because like when you do the seva, like we get the mercy of Radharani, and we get the mercy of a Krishna, we get the mercy of a like our senior acharyas. So yes, so it is the duty, uh, so it is a duty of a sages to, they have to pre-reach the mission of a God. And like so like here it is not stated now like you have to do lot of austerity, you have to read all the books, but there should be no time for a reading. Okay, I'm attending like 4 classes a day, I'm like reading for the 4 hours, and like I'm chanting the 64 rounds, but are you preaching? When you are not preaching, then this is not a good, because like our Prabhupada don't like never emphasize only on like on self. Okay, like but we also have to pre-reach at the same time. Okay, so like there are some peoples like who simply when their Kumbh Mela and all things are happen now, like there are Babajis, they never kill, they never cut their nails, or they never like wash their hairs, or like they never like use their one finger or one leg, and like they never open their mouth. Like they do this kind of austerities, but this is not a recommended for the Vaishnavas. Okay, they should go door to door, and they should glorify the Krishna, and like they should pre-reach the message of a Godhead to everyone. Okay, so yes, so here what is said, that God is satisfied only when his devotees take all sorts of a risk to propagate the glories. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, what our Krishna says, those devotees who preach the mission of like Sankirtana movement, or who glorify, like who spread the glorification of Lord everywhere, he become very dear to Krishna. So like what is like, can we directly please Krishna? We cannot. But like can we like expand, or like Sankirtana movement like a Prabhupada? We cannot do, but we can help the Prabhupada in propagating. So we can become a little instrument in a Prabhupada's hand in our ISKCON, that like we can we can start preaching. Okay, and preaching means like it start with the level 1 and level 2 sevas. Okay, like it preaching, it doesn't actually need like you need to be a teacher only. No, as a facilitator also, like you are taking the responsibility of that 10-15 devotees. And this is the good like a very good preaching. Okay, we can see level 1, like we are having the 40 devotees, but level 2 only 10 are joining. But like no one is taking responsibility why these 30s are not joining. Okay, so like there should be detailed report now. So like yes, like devotees are always compassionate towards the fallen souls. Okay, we need to be like very compassionate like a Prabhupada. Because like why they feel compassionate, even they were having the millions of dollars. Then also why devotees are compassionate to that person, because like devotees know, okay, he will enjoy for some time, but he's losing the opportunity to going back to the Godhead. Okay, and he's like, and this enjoyment is not true, it is a pseudo or a false enjoyment of this material life. Okay, so like for takeout points for me is that like we should always ready for do the Vaishnava seva. And like okay, I'm chanting the 16 rounds, I'm following the 4 regulative principle. But most important is at the same time I have to be very strong in a sadhana, but at the same time I should start the preaching pre-reaching, and I should render some sevas. Okay, so we can read the 18th verse. Yes, Gunashri Mataji, you can start reading. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 18. Many plants and creepers that were almost dead during the months of April and May are now visible again in various forms, for they are nourished by their roots in the moist earth. These numberless plants and creepers resemble persons who dry up in severe penance for some material gains, but then achieve their objective and become luxuriously fat, nourished by sense enjoyment. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that when the daytime of Brahma is over, the manifested creation of the universe all vanish. And after the end of Brahma's night, the creation is manifested again. Thus, the cosmic creation, in its manifestation and non manifestations, resembles the creepers and plants that appear during the rainy season and gradually vanish when the season is over. Even when the plants and creepers are no longer to be seen, their seeds remain, and these dormant seeds fructify in contact with water. Similarly, the seed like spiritual spark, who are dominated by the desire to lord it over the material nature, exists in a dormant state after the cosmic manifestation is annihilated. And when the cosmic manifestation reappears, all the silent living beings within the womb of material nature come out and engage in sense enjoyment, thereby growing luxuriously fat. To attain liberation, one must be completely purified of perverted form of desire. A living being cannot snuff out desires, and to practice artificially erasing the actions of desire is most dangerous than the active desires themselves. All desires should be reformed and directed towards spiritual activities. Otherwise, those same desires will repeatedly manifest themselves in different varieties of material enjoyment, thus conditioning the living being perpetually in material bondage. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So like this is the kind of reality check for us now. Like every like from the every purpose, like what things we can like okay we are reading, but we have to take take out we have to take out the points and we have to apply it. Okay, then only there will be change in ourself. So in 18 verse, many plants and creepers that were almost dead during the months of April and May, we have seen in a summer season, like there is a shortage of water, so like all the greenery they become invisible. Okay, so now visible again in various form, for they are nourished by nourish their roots in the moist earth. This numberless plants and creepers resemble to the person who dry up in a severe penances for the material gain. So we can see like in the summer, like they're all leaves, flowers, everything is dry, but the roots they are searching for the moisture. So it is compared to the like a person's who is performing a lot of penances for some material gain, persons doing working for the 18 hours, or they are or like they are doing 2 3 shifts, like they are laboring so hard so that they can earn some money, and like from them they can enjoy. Okay, but then achieve their objective and become luxuriously fat and nourished by the sense enjoyment. Okay, in starting they perform lot of austerities and they become weak, but when they get the result of that, then they become very fat by doing and nourished by the sense enjoyment. Okay, so they do lot of sense enjoyment and they become fat. Okay, so here it is said that now in a Bhagavad Gita also, in a daytime of a Brahmaji, all the manifested all the universes are manifested, they are created, and at the night of a Brahmaji, all these material universes are annihilated. So and this happens in a cycle. Okay, and the jivas, they have a lot of thoughts, they have a lot of desire to enjoy, they uh, they have to helplessly get dissolved in that, they have we can also see now, we have to helplessly become old, we have to helplessly have to go we have to helplessly we are going to die, or helplessly we are going to get a disease, or like we are diseased. So everything we don't want that, but then also it happens. Okay, so this cosmic creation is the this manifestation is a uh, this is a temporary. All this except spiritual world, everything is a temporary. So we can see here like in the like in the summer season also there are there are seeds on the soil, but they do not germinate. But when they get the favorable they are dormant, but when they get the favorable condition, they like start growing and they again nourish. Okay, so this spiritual spark, the jivas, they are also this kind of the seeds. Like they have lot of material desires. And what kind of desires? Like we are in the spiritual world, we are the servant of Krishna, and our duty was that like we have to serve Krishna. But at that time we start thinking, why Krishna is a master, I can be also master, why I should serve Krishna, Krishna can be also serve me. So when we when we become envious, that's why like we fall in this material world, and we come with that desire that I have to become master and I have to imitate Krishna. Okay, so this desire stay in our heart, and like when this when this universe is annihilated, like this desires remain in our heart. And when again this universe is manifested, then like this dormant seeds they again become nourished. But what is the problem? This is the endless journey. If you fulfill the desire of like one desire, material desire, you will get the another desire, then you will get the another desire, and you will simply suffer in this material world. So, what Prabhupada is saying here, all desires should be reformed and directed towards the or directed towards the spiritual activity. So we have seen that like we are the soul, and our tendency is to always stay active. We cannot be we cannot sit. Even like so, same things come to our mind. Mind is always active, but so we cannot stop like the thoughts in our mind, or we can never become like thoughtless. But what we can do, we can reform our thoughts, we can reform our desire. Like we have to reform our desires from my sense gratification to the Krishna's sense gratification. Then only we can go back to the Godhead. So further, what Prabhupada is saying, otherwise the same desire will repeatedly manifest themselves in a different varieties of a material enjoyment. So we have to enjoy like like the same, like when you eat the gulab jamun, whatever happiness you get, same kind of happiness that like hog get when he eat the stool. Okay, and the birds get when they eat the insects. So like the kind of happiness is the same. So like why we have to run behind this temporary happiness? Okay, and this will happens repeatedly. One desire if you fulfill, then another desire, then another desire. So like somewhere we should stop this. Okay, somewhere we should stop our sense enjoyment, and we should like engage in Krishna's service. So thus the condition of a living being perpetually in the material material bondage. So we can see when we read the Srila Prabhupada books, we get some kind of intelligence. Okay, so like when our intelligence is a sharpen, then then we can easily control our mind. At least when our mind is pulling us here and there, we know, okay, we don't have to go in that direction, and we don't have to commit like apradhas, or we don't have to commit any sinful act, or like we don't need to break the four regulative principles when our intelligence is strong. So to strong our intelligence, it is very important to do Shravanam, and it is very important to read the Srila Prabhupada books. Okay, so today we can end here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhe eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you for joining.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Mataji. Thank you
Krishna,
so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
this
Hare
book is
Krishna.
so
Hare Krishna
beautiful, na?
Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
So, like those for those devotees, it is possible to on their, cameras in our reading session. It is wonderful, na? Because I'm simply seeing the names. I don't know like what devotees are doing there. So it will be better. So from tomorrow, like you can also keep the camera, because it becomes live, na? Like okay, we are interacting with each other, so it will be better. So this thing we can change from tomorrow. So Hare Krishna Punraj Prabhu, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Vinod Prabhu,
Mataji.
Thank you, Baba.
Hari Bol.
Hare
Happy
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
conscious
Thank
Krishna.
day.
you.
Hare
Mataji
Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.